You got a lot of shit going on, man. Damn,
Life's good,
bro.
dude. Life's good.
Why your pinky knuckle got a booty on it?
Don't punish me with your brutality.
Knuckle got a booty on it.
Don't do it. Oh, I broke my finger. I broke my finger. I broke my finger. This sucks, dude. And I'm leaving town tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we hit it.
Fuck. And I'm going to Dallas.
Dallas is a good city. I'm going to Houston.
Are you?
Tomorrow, yeah.
What's in Houston that rule? You doing
My
Riot?
family.
Are you doing your senior family?
The Riot Festival.
One of the best clubs in the fucking country.
Yeah?
Right? Have you done it before?
No, I don't think I had. I've done some clubs in Houston, but I haven't done the Riot, I don't think.
Riot, hands down. It's always packed. Because I'm still half me and then half people just going out on a Friday night. You know what I mean?
Right.
Saturday night.
I mean, I'm still kind of that shit.
You got that SNL tag, dude. And
Yeah, but like some of them whites stop coming. They stop coming when you stop showing up on sketches. Matter of fact, you're this is how little you're on SNL, even when you're on SNL, unless you're like, a Bowen or Marcello, is that people still think you're on. I haven't been on a show in 3 years. People be like, "Oh, you're so good on the show." That's how little I be on. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been on so little that they're like, "Oh, he's still there. He's just in the back."
Yeah, but you
like how the fuck can you not know?
I think one of the hardest I've laughed at SNL in many fucking moons was you doing Smokey.
That was a lot of fun. I was actually really surprised
You were surprised for what?
Because the Smokey Robinson moment happened in black culture. You got to remember, like SNL, while it has integrated some different kinds of people from all different backgrounds, it's still a relatively white ass show.
Sure.
So they pull from what's mainstream in white media, and what's happened with Smokey wasn't a mainstream thing. It was black. Now you're in music. You're in the music. So music and black culture, all of that's kind of entangled. So you would hear something like that.
Sure.
But somebody at SNL like that story's not that that's not that big. It's not that important. So it would really shock me when we would get like a Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was the same way. I love doing Soulja Boy on there. We were very shocked that they even let it happen because it's like.
It is very specific.
It's very specific to the culture and our and what's popular to us is not necessarily matter to the SNL crew. So it is what it is. Like, but I was glad to be able to do it though because it was
so great.
Mad funny.
Don't punish me with your brutality.
No one's gonna know what you're referencing.
No, but you'd be surprised. This is what's cool about our fan base is that it is. I always make the joke that it's like dudes in their 40s and 50s and 60s in their basement, like fucking like that love music, have all the records. I'm like, and we tried to do something. They were like, we need a book for the female audience, and I was like, dude, we don't have a female. It's all guys. And then, dude, I was in fucking. Where was I? Milwaukee, and I'm walking the dog pre my show around like the little town square, and this girl driving by is like, she's like, Josh. She pulls over. She's so excited to see me. She's like, I listen to your podcast every week. So big shout out to the Queen of Fleece, Bonnie.
Hey.
I fucking love her.
Bonnie.
Bonnie's our one female listener.
That's what's up, Bonnie.
Yeah.
You are a trailblazer, Bonnie. One day you gonna get a last name.
Don't punish me. Which we could, dude. So for all the Fleece Army, all the listeners out there, this episode. Because of just my schedule and your schedule, and you lost your voice, we had to schedule and reschedule.
Oh my god, dude, it was a lot.
And if we would have done it yesterday, that was Marvin Gaye's birthday.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, happy
We're
birthday,
close.
Marvin
Happy
Gaye.
birthday, Mark. Don't punish me with if that's the clip, we're pulling it out. Don't punish me.
He does not sing it like that.
Can you do it though? Can you say it? Can you say the N-word and then I can do the rest? Like,
nigga.
Yeah, don't punish me with your brutality.
He still said it. That was AI. No,
I didn't. No.
Your fan base be like, all right.
I'm so happy that you not. I think we tried to get you on for a different record before, but I'm glad it's this one because I ran into you, and we're gonna deep dive into that. What does he call it? What is the thing with all the presidents? The Mount Rushmore of booty music. But this album, and this is not where we're going to focus it on, but this album might be, because people are always fucking the music, but I don't know if there was ever a record that was centralized. This is what it's for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this was like a pioneer of that thing. You know, Prince made very sexual music. Yeah, there's also like the '90s and the early 2000s, which was like,
but that's later. This is 70. If I'm not mistaken, this is 73. I have a whole preamble that's going to catch us up and to get into everything. So don't even worry. I'm going to carry a lot of the weight on all the info and stuff.
Good.
But what
doing the work?
This is Morty. This ain't me, dude. This is DJ Morty Coyle. Big shout out. Where's he at? Big shout out, DJ Morty Coyle. I'm just looking at him on the camera because he's listening to this on his drive right now.
Amazing.
And I'm going to call him as soon as this is done. I have a team of people that help me prepare for this because,
awesome.
As you know, unlike any other art form, music is... You have to be very delicate the way you talk about, like if I shit, fuck Marvin Gaye, that let's get it on sucks. And then somebody's going to go, dude, that was the song that me and my wife consummated our wedding to and had our child to, listening to that. Or that song was played at my dad's funeral. It hits differently.
Yeah.
Movies are great. Comedy's great. There's nothing.
Who's playing Let's Get It On at their father's funeral?
I was just saying I was saying in general.
Yeah.
Somebody... I love you, Frank, man. Ain't nobody fucked me like you did.
I used to hear my parents fucking to this song all my life.
What brought you here from Marvin Gaye? Like, I'm not saying I'm shocked, but like, why are you here for this record? Like, what's your relationship like with Marvin?
Well, as far as I came here on Marvin Gaye because you asked me to come here, and I was like, hell yeah. But Marvin Gaye's... Okay, so my family's from Mississippi, so we're Southerners. So in my household, music is playing all day, regardless of who's up, if who's home. It's just, the radio's on all day long, constantly. If it wasn't, there's a problem.
Is that all black people?
I'm not gonna generalize, but there's several.
Yeah, I imagine
that's a lot of us.
Imagine it's
have
just
a very musical house.
Yeah,
I don't want
ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley. Get your book bag, honey. Ain't no river.
Oh my God! Now that's a thin line between having music on and a Tyler Perry film, but we ain't dancing out the door.
You got your book bag, baby. Hey, no, I love you, mama.
Oh my God!
Not far off.
But it's just like ambiance, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you go to a kitchen and hit cooking, if you like, you know, it's just an ambiance thing. And Marvin Gaye was in rotation. We also used to do a lot of driving to Mississippi from wherever we would move to. So we would go to St. Louis, Chicago. We would always drive back down. So we have long road trips, about 14, 15 hours. And Marvin Gaye was always in there. And that album was always on spin. It's like it's just kind of like a part of it. Yeah. Which now that I'm an adult, it's kind of gross that my parents just listen to like their sex music on our road trip. Gross. But I didn't think about it like that.
You never thought about that.
Right this second.
Well, you know, it's just let's get it on. Whatever they're getting on, it's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's they're getting it on. They mean life. Get it on with life. No, this is straight fuck. But I also feel like a lot of soul and funk and, you know, rhythm and blues in general is very sexual music. And I just think that's because also like black people are very, I'm not saying they're very sexual, but it's just like, it's very charismatic. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
we're singing about everything we care about, and love is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I think it's more about love, and then love, you know, how you express that is through sex. Like, I think that was more like Marvin Gaye era.
Mm-hmm.
I think now it's a lot of sex. Just in drugs in general.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I think, Marvin was just talking to them guys and them ladies that just want to just get down.
He was a good-looking guy, dressed great. You know what I mean? You're talking about the 60s and the 70s, which are, you know, the coolest era, I think, of, you know, 80s was great, 90s was great, and I think even now, but it's like, dude, it was like men were men back, you know. I'm not saying Migos aren't men, but their fucking pants are so goddamn tight, and like they're dressing almost very effeminate, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's the style. But Marvin...
But they was effeminate then, too, though. Because you got dudes in bell bottoms, you know what I'm saying?
Rick James, yeah.
You got the tight... you got the tight pants and shit still, but like I get what you're saying in a way, you know. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not. It's not a knock on dudes now, but I think there is a
I'm not
blurring.
taking up for dudes now.
There's a blur.
I don't give a shit about
there is a line of where it's like it's masculine and femininity are almost meeting in the middle with the jewelry and the style. Like they're wearing Chanel and they're wearing YSL and they're wearing very stylish brands.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, can you, Natalie? Can you pull up the picture of Marvin Gaye from this record? Because it's one of the coolest outfits that he looks like a Brooklyn barista. Did I say that right? Barista. Yeah. He's got like the denim shirt on with the red. Yeah. Like that red.
And this is the same time that James Brown exists.
Yes. Yeah. And but like I'm saying, dude, there was a more. I don't want to say masculine per se, but it feels. Yes. I mean, dude, that's like.
That's Frank Ocean aesthetic right there.
Yes.
Like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, I think that Frank Ocean is perfect. Yeah, man, I think that's just like he was just a cool, soulful guy.
Yeah.
With a lot of riz, as you said. You know what I mean? And then you had every artist trying to bring something different to the game. So, because I mean, James had his chest out every single time, but he was a very different artist than Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Otis Redding was kind of similar. Otis dressed like he was singing in the church a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, which by the way, Otis Redding is my favorite performer in anything ever. I steal everything I do on stage. I'm stealing from Otis Redding. The energy, the like.
So you're Elvising Otis.
I just think he's. If we would have done this at my.
Otis.
Not to be honest with you, if there's people that steal from anybody, I mean, nobody would expect that. But when you watch me on stage now, knowing that, you're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, especially the jam. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, the energy, the fucking power. Mm-hmm. He's the greatest of all time. Very, different from Marvin, but still. I think they're all coming from the gospel, but Otis, like you said,
which I think. Jermaine Dupri made a comment about this, and he was saying how like a lot of singers came up in the church, and that's how they kind of found their identity. And then when they broke off, that's why this is so different and so powerful. And we're kind of losing soulful voices because there's less people coming from the church. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe talk to the church.
Isn't that they got mad at Ray Charles for? You remember they were like, you're playing church, you're playing church music, but you're sexualizing it. Is that not? Am I wrong? Was that not a scene from?
Yeah. He was taking
Ray?
Because he was taking chords, he was taking like beats, he was creating things from that had a gospel background and putting some secular stuff on it.
Yeah,
which was genius. So they were just stupid and wrong.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Which is tight.
Do you want to hear the preamble to catch us up on this record and dive into it? Okay, so
I love a preamble, dog.
DJ Morty Coyle, big shout out. All right, so we have done Marvin Gaye before. Yeah, we did his what record did we do? We did Yes My Dear, which is most gangster shit ever. You know that story? Mm-hmm. He made a record. He got divorced and he had to pay this woman, his ex-wife, and he said I think it was something like she only got in the deal, she got the money from his next album. And so he made a record. It's called Yes, My Dear. I'm pretty sure, Natalie, check that math on me what that record was called, but it's basically a fuck you record to his wife. That's like crazy. Every song is like, fuck you, bitch. Take this, stick it up your ass. I mean, it's so.
That's the lyric?
I mean, no, but he cleans it up very nicely. I did it with Roy Wood Jr., and it was just such a fun record to like, because you'll see what I do with this, where I'm going to ask you questions about your life from all this. But it's just, he's gangster. So I think this is the second one we've done. So let's just recap where we're at for this record. So Marvin Gaye's popularity as a Motown artist was riding high by the end of the 60s. By the way, chime in on anything, cut me off, add stuff, whatever you want to do. Sure. He had a successful run of duets with fellow Motown female artists Diana Ross, Kim Weston, and most importantly, Tammy Tyrell. Then tragedy happened. I hope I said it's Terrell had an aggressive cancer and died in 1970. Marvin was devastated and took some time off. He returned with the socially aware and politically charged concept record, What's Going On.
Hell yeah. I remember that.
Which is
I
now.
don't remember. I wasn't there, but
I was like, damn. I was like, black people do age well. If motherfucker, if you were there,
I remember that. I was right front and center,
dude. That's
because I asked what's going on, and then he sung about it.
Don't punish me with your brutality. You know, that's the new #1 album on the 500 greatest album list. Because in the summer, it was in the top 20 for sure. But in the summer of George Floyd, they redid the greatest albums, and that became #1. I'm not going to argue and sit here and say that it doesn't deserve to be in the discussion. I do think that Rolling Stone magazine tried to overcorrect for an audience that, I'm not saying black people don't read Rolling Stone magazine, but they just, it is every list that they had ever done was Sgt. Pepper. Every list. Is it the greatest album? Who knows? It's very subjective. Like, well, you might like one thing and I might like one thing, but for that record to suddenly go from #1 to #25, and then Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, to, you know, it's.
People were trying to fix a problem in the wrong ways.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's a problem, and everybody recognizes the problem. So they're like, hey, get these black people stop dying by force. Let's put Marvin Gaye.
Put Marvin Gaye. Don't punish me with your brutality.
I mean, that's a fire-ass album. So
it's a great record. I'm not taking anything away from it. All right. So that came out in 1971. It was embraced both critically and popularity. He followed it up with the soundtrack to the blaxploitation film of the same name, 1972's Trouble Man, which he wrote and produced on his own. By the way, the blaxploitation soundtracks were incredibly popular at the time. There were hits from super famous Isaac Hayes, Curtis Mayfield, James Brown, and Barry White, to name some of the big ones. And similarly, to those other artists by the early 70s, there seemed to be a collective wave of records and songs that explored frank themes of sexuality backed by soul and new sound of deep funk. This is Marvin's version. It became a pioneer in the burgeoning slow jam and quiet storm format that was to be a staple for other soul artists until this day. However, the story of Marvin's pressures and his troubled relationships with sex were the undercurrent running through the record. Motown moved from Detroit's Hitsville, USA to Hitsville West in Los Angeles, and Marvin was struggling on whether to follow. Remember, he was married to Motown's founder, Berry Gordy's sister, Anna, and they had a very turbulent relationship. Yeah, dude. As we talked about during the divorce record, that's called Here, My Dear. That's the album.
Right, Here, My Dear.
Yeah.
That's right.
In fact, shortly after moving to Los Angeles, the couple separated. He also had just renegotiated his Motown contract for millions of dollars, becoming the highest paid black and soul artist at the time.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. But he also hit a creative block during this time. Some of these songs had been started back in 1970 and stalled. Marvin also had a very difficult time with his sexuality. This is something that Morty had told me that I found very interesting.
What?
Well, because, you know, it's G-A-Y. He added the E. You mean, imagine what that's like growing up. Especially as a black man named Gay.
Oh yeah, I asked all these questions to my father, who could not answer it. When I was like, why is his name Gay? He's like, that's his name. Is he gay? I don't think so.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say that you find that like Richard Pryor and all of them had like homosexual.
Yeah. I mean that, you know, you're talking about somebody I
they're doing coke.
Yeah, I knew. I learned about Richard super young. I feel like I learned about that like right away, and it's so crazy because this is a conversation for a whole nother day. But it's so funny.
Take us there, dude.
When we decide to care about that kind of shit, like as a culture, we know we need to do a little bit catching up with the homophobia of it all. But like,
it's a lot.
It's because we allow, like, Prince could walk out with his ass cheeks out and all that. We like, with a perm, we're like, hey, that's Prince though. You know what I'm saying?
He's wearing high heels, for Christ's sake.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, he was taking down chicks though. You know what I'm saying? But also,
dude. Well, it's funny. We had oh my God, what am I gonna think of his name? Who's that? He's a black comic from Houston. Sits down. He's gangster. He's got multiple specials. Was in jail.
Oh, Ali Sadiq.
Ali Sadiq came off of Prince.
I love Ali.
He's the man.
So
he did Prince's debut album, which Prince is a genius and is become one of my favorite artists. from this podcast and going, if you ever go to Minnesota, you gotta go to Paisley Park. You
Oh,
gotta
I've
go
already
to his,
been.
oh, you've been? Perfect. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, is Prince gay or is he bisexual? And he goes, man, he's like, I don't know about that because he took down some of the baddest bitches.
Baddest.
And every single one of them, after they broke up with Prince, they found Jesus. Like all of them, they all went to be Jehovah's Witnesses or this. So that means he's giving good dick, and that means just because
and some study material after.
Dude,
because being Jehovah's Witness, that's a lot of studying.
Is it really?
I assume.
Dude, hilarious. All right, where were we? So, blah, 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 blah. Difficult about his
he
sexuality.
came out, right.
Yes. His father, Marvin Gaye Sr., was a preacher and was physically abusive, disciplining his son according to the deeply conservative and moralistic values and morals of Christianity.
Ooh, always fun, Christianity.
I know, man. It's
such a fun thing.
I'm a Jew and appreciate every religion, but I'm not religious. Like I believe in the universe, whatever, but it's like and if you want to be Christian and you want to be, conservative and just strong in your morals and your values, great. You don't have to push it on other people. That's the problem.
On the issue. I believe in God. I'm more spiritual probably than religious, although I do believe that there's something up there that we're praying to. But I think faith is good because it keeps people whatever keeps you treating people kindly, bro, and coming from a moral standpoint, like a moral compass that's positive.
Yeah,
it keeps you on the straight and narrow. Because there's some people who didn't have God that be terrors in the street. So I'm like, I don't want to talk you out of that.
Sure, I completely agree with you.
But the second you throw you're throwing it on other people, that's when it's a problem, which is what most of it is, or when somebody weaponizes religion, which we love to do.
More than anything,
human race.
It's more people have died in the name of God than in any other form, and it's like if we're gonna have a president or government, let's just say that is like well, we believe in this, cool, but if this person wants to be gay and wants to fucking believe in this water bottle as being it, who gives a shit? Let them do that,
man.
But don't push that shit on us. And
Absolutely.
it's in the idea that because it ultimately is going to be the downfall of Marvin is his father. Obviously his father killed him, because of all that. And I mean, Marvin, I didn't grow up in a very religious household, but
I definitely did. Yeah,
you did.
I did.
Oh, really?
Oh man, I was raised in the church. Yeah, I mean, shit. I learned to read with the Bible, I think.
Really?
I mean, I love to read, so I'm not going to put it all in the Bible. The Bible has very big words. But we had to go there all the time, every Sunday. We had to go there on Wednesdays. We were in, youth group. Dude, I was a sign singer, bro, which is like you go to these old folks' homes and you wear these white gloves and you just sign with a soundtrack. So they play all these, religious songs and you just, do this.
Dude.
It was, shoot me. And there, these old people falling asleep. And you're like, I don't think they know we're here.
From a distance, the ocean, God is watching. I did that in the choir.
Really?
Chamber singers. Yeah, we did. I think we didn't do it at in a religious way, but that song From a Distance by Bette Midler, we did sign that as we sang it. That's why I was like, and God is watching. I just remember doing that.
Yeah, I did a lot of these.
Nice.
That's
good. You were good at
that. I had a lot of training at 8.
But I think it's the same thing as when because I was a bar mitzvah DJ and a private party DJ, and I told the guy that ran it I wanted to be a comic. He goes, "Well, use this time to learn how to get comfortable, you know what I mean, and try to be funny." So I bet somehow, really, you don't feel like you learned anything from?
You know what I got from it?
What?
If a motherfucker puts me in a goddamn old home, I'ma haunt them till they die. I learned nothing from that besides to do how important it is to do something that you don't deem is important but could change somebody's day. That is the real actual lesson I walked away with. Much later though, I was 8. I had a Nintendo and I didn't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm a child, man. I don't want to do this bullshit. I want to go play Nintendo, fuck these people.
You're like, they're gonna die anyway, and they're asleep.
And this lady has dementia. She won't even remember this.
She don't even know who she is.
She won't even remember that.
She thinks I'm a grandson. Should I say yes?
She keep calling me Joshy.
Little Joshy. All right. His father was a preacher and physically abused, disciplining, blah, 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 blah. Where was I? Oh, here we go. It really did a number on Marvin, being treated that way by his dad, and to contribute to his sexual issues, which included impotence and crippling guilt due to his sadomasochistic fantasies. So Marvin was thinking about really.
This is more than I ever knew. Wait a minute. So my man was like, let's get it on, but he couldn't get it on.
According to what this little preamble is, yeah, and Morty does the research, so this is probably well known.
God damn,
yeah,
bro.
I knew he was like a twisted character, because don't forget, man, he's doing a lot of cocaine. He was also very suicidal. I think we're gonna get into that. He had tried to kill himself multiple times. Like, you know, I'm not saying that. Listen, we're not saying that he's gay.
What if "Let's Get It On" was really a song to his own dick, bro?
Could be.
You know what I'm saying?
What if it's to a man?
We don't know that. He was trying to sing his dick up. He was just like, "Come on, dog, let's get it on, dog."
I've been really trying, baby.
Trying to hold back this feeling. Well, he had to change some of the words.
This is crazy. We got it all here, dude. So Marvin found a new spirituality and a new love in Janice Hunter, which was helping him cope with his issues. It was to be sexual healing, so to speak. So let's get into this record. So the album opens, obviously, with the title track, which is co-written along with a few songs on this record with co-producer Ed Townsend. Is this, before I get into this little thing, is this the #1 song ever written about fucking?
Let's get it on.
Yeah, what would be like, this is, if there was ever one, there's no other way to interpret. This is literally, let's get it on. You can't, what are you trying to get on? This is about fucking.
I mean, we're talking about a specific generation, or are we talking about ever in life?
What would be another song that you would think it could be in any generation? Like, what do you think written about fucking? That's literally saying
Pony, Genuine.
Let's jump on it. Let's do it.
But Pony, ride it, my pony, a dick. And his worked. Huh? I don't know personally.
She's a lesbian. Are you a lesbian, Nat?
No, I'm bi. I swing both ways.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so half of her liked that joke.
I also said pony. We had our heads were in the same place.
Also, I'm looking back because I need audience.
Yeah,
so I'm just looking back.
Jorge ain't paying attention at all. That
Nah. He over there playing Minecraft.
But is Pony? But Pony, I thought, was about a dick. It's about his dick, right?
But it's about fucking his dick.
Okay. Yeah.
He's saying jump on it and ride it.
It's a great song, by the way.
It's a fantastic song.
Yeah, Genuine doesn't get the love that he deserves.
Oh, I think he gets the just amount,
in
right amount.
Those jeans. And I used to play those Pony. It's funny. I played In Those Jeans at the strip club way more than I played Pony. You would think that I played Pony more, but I didn't play the ones that everybody would. I would try to go for a deeper cut. I think In Those Jeans is way sexier. Excuse me.
Really?
I do.
Ooh.
I have a joke about Pony.
It's a great song, though.
In Those Jeans or Pony? Both of them?
If we were doing Pony's classic. Come on, there's a dance with it. There's everything. You know.
There's a dance?
Oh, wait. I always do this. I always do this because I mix up Drew Hill's Steppin' with Pony.
By the way, Drew Hill, Cisco, all of them, they all worked at the Fudgery in Baltimore.
I worked at the Fudgery in Chicago.
Did you really?
In the suburbs.
And so you sang and you guys made the fudge?
I rapped. I was passing out. I was selling my mixtape at the time, and with my partner Marcus. And
what's up, Marcus?
Yeah, my boy Marcus, DeMarcos, his rap name and shit.
Good name.
I think he's an HR guy now. So it's no, he's funny because he does HR. I won't say your last name because he does HR, but he's high every time. So it's hilarious. Like, don't smoke no weed. And
hey, I gotta bring you in here. I know we gotta talk about the values, but
you really gotta up productivity.
What's up, Marco?
Yeah, but we was out there rapping, man, and like trying to sell mixtapes and like freestyling, and he would beatbox, so I would just rap, and that was kind of our street performance kind of thing.
It.
And that's like before improv, it was this, and then the guy at the fudgery saw us outside, and he was like, "Yo, y'all, what if y'all did that in here, and then we could sell some fudge, and y'all could work how y'all want to work. You ain't got to do nothing you don't want to do, but y'all can make some money." I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." It sounded way cooler than it was. We still had to wear the outfits, so we were just fudgery guys. I was rhyming about fudge, and he was making it.
Do you remember a line? Do you remember?
Absolutely not, bro.
Really?
No, I don't. It was all free. I was all off the top. I didn't go home and write fudge bars. I was I was thoroughly inspired by the room. You know what I mean? So whatever was going on, I would rap about a lady coming in with a bag. I'll mix that with some flavor, and then you know what I'm saying, just on some freestyle shit.
Sure.
And then like every other now and then, like we would just rap for fun. But it was definitely terrible. There was no money in it, but it was to us, got checked to just do that was crazy.
Hey, you get paid, and how old are you, by the way?
Oh,
17, 18?
No, I'm like 20. I think
20?
I'm 20. Yeah.
Still young, you know what I mean? You didn't know that you wanted to do...
You're right. I was about 19.
You wanted to do...
I was about 19.
You didn't know you wanted to do comedy. You said improv came up later.
Yeah.
What if, dude, I mean, look, is it a shit job making fudge? Yes.
For a cokehead, for sure, because my manager would come out. Because
hurry up.
One of our checks didn't come one week, and we fought a lot back then. So we came up like, yo, where our checks at? Yeah. And Duke came out the back with some coke on his lip.
No.
Like, no, the money gonna be in there. In where, man? We quit that day. We roughed up the fudgery a little bit.
Yo, and I'm taking some of this peanut brittle.
You know what's? Yeah, it sucks that I don't eat fudge because I couldn't really take nothing. Like, but like none of this would.
What is it? You have
Nah, I just think there's too much. This is too much.
Too much fudge. It's too much chocolate.
Yeah.
So to clarify Marvin's views on his spirituality concerning sex and love, let's look at what he wrote in this album's liner notes. In quotations, I can't see anything wrong with sex between consenting anybody's. I think we make far too much of it. After all, one's genitals are just one important part of the magnificent human body. I contend that sex is sex and love is love. When combined, they work well together. If two people are of about the same mind, but they are really two discrete needs and should be treated as such. Time and space will not permit me to expound further, especially in the area of the psyche. I don't believe in overly moralistic philosophies. Have your sex. It can be exciting if you're lucky. I hope the music that I present here makes you lucky. Wow, what a nice little thing. Also very deep.
Yeah, it was super deep.
So I wanted to ask you, if you feel comfortable talking about it.
Yeah.
What was your first time like? Do you remember?
Yeah. Not great. So I wanted it to be awesome, but it was not good. I had kind of fooled around a little bit and got close before this time.
Sure. How old are you, by the way?
Oh, I'm like 14.
14? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Black in America, baby. we start young. My first kiss was like 12 or some shit.
Yeah, so I not to cut you off because I want to hear this, is that I first kissed with Noelle Lemire at camp. A lot of shit went down at summer camp. I was like 12, I think 12, 13, and then I got a blowjob. No, I touched titties. No, Kim LaRocca first kiss, touched titties, Noelle Lemire. Mm-hmm. That was at summer camp too. And then the next year, the girl's name was Jen, I think. I fingered and got a blowjob. I think I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
So younger, but I didn't then have sex until I was 18.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was earlier. So it was, I was like 14. I had to be like 14. And this new girl came like mid-year. And she was like the hottest one in the school.
Really?
For the black people. I didn't know what the white people
There's a black chick?
Yeah.
This is in Mississippi.
But like, no.
This is
in Chicago.
That's what I was going to say is I always associated you with Chicago. So when you said you grew up in Mississippi, I was like, what?
Because when we moved, we went to year-round school. So every 6 weeks we would be down there for 3 weeks in Mississippi. So Mississippi was always a huge part of my life, regardless where we moved. We just always went there, and so it's just like a huge part of my growing up. Half my life I know to be there.
Okay.
But yeah, we was in Chicago, and we were in a suburb of I think it's Naperville or Aurora, one or two. And the school was in Naperville.
Okay.
And this new girl comes in, and we're flirting and all that. And this is, we're young, you know what I'm saying? So, like, everybody's trying to get at her. I guess, like, my friend who would come to be my best friend tried to date her first, but couldn't because he couldn't leave the house. He kept getting grounded all the time, and his mom would take his door off. She was, like, real mean back then.
Yeah.
So I lucked out, I was a kid who was just always able to sneak out, go be around and whatever. So, but I had social anxiety, and I really didn't really know how to deal with that shit. And so when it got down to do, I had built up so much. I had lied to her, said I had done this shit before, and I was so nervous, and I was so in my head that I couldn't even perform for real.
Really?
Yeah, man. And I remember her being like, "You gay," and so toxic, bruh. I wish Brittany, that was her name.
That's
and
her name?
I wish I knew her last name so I could say the whole thing.
You have no
D. I know it started with a D though.
Oh, Brittany D.
Ooh.
Look, dude, Fleece Army. You're on it. Find it. Chicago.
Yeah.
19. No, it was probably how old are you?
I am 40. I just turned 40.
So was it in the 19s? Yeah, right? Was it like 2000?
Early 2000s.
So early
Super
2000s.
early,
Aurora. Brittany.
Bro, she was yeah, bro. She shamed the shit out of me, bro. And I couldn't tell her this was my first time, and that's why I was nervous.
Yeah,
Obviously. You know what I'm saying?
She was older, or she was
she was about the same age.
She had fucked before.
Yes.
Brittany.
No, wait, she was a little. She might have been a year older, but
she had sex before.
She had been doing some things already, for sure.
Ho.
Hey, someone who's very in tune with their body and loves to share it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being sexual, or I'm not trying to slut shame anybody, but man, that's like, I can imagine what that probably did to you in the law. You're carrying baggage around for that still.
Honestly,
probably
didn't talk about it again until therapy, like a few months ago.
Wow.
Now, I've been great in that department, but
you're
also
a good-looking guy. You're charismatic.
But also, I was a little toxic, and there's some toxic traits I probably picked up in defense. Not even probably, just toxic traits I picked up in defense of never letting that happen again that I didn't realize was from that moment. But I remember just being so. I remember like, what? I ain't gonna never let no girl say that about me ever again. I didn't say, hey, what's going on up here and why did that happen? You know what I mean? Which is where I should have went first. Sure. But we all live in there.
Dude,
I was too young to be fucking anyway.
Dude, I wish I remembered the name of the girl that I lost my virginity to. I don't know her name. It was in Myrtle Beach. I was 18 years old. We were all there for senior week. We started hooking up. My friends left the hotel room. I get her on the bed, and this God's honest truth. We're making out, get her naked, and I'm like, wait here. And then I run to the ice box, and I go get an ice cube. Because for some reason, you watch all those, like, Cinemax late night, so they, like, rub ice on her body. So I yeah, dude. So I fucking ice cubed her pussy.
Oh,
like,
no.
I froze her down, and she's like, And then I had sex. I don't think I finished. I don't think I finished, and don't know her name. No idea what happened to her. Maybe it's Jen. I think it's Jen. No idea.
There's a Nancy somewhere just fuming.
She's like, this motherfucker froze my pussy.
They can't even remember.
Yeah, it's terrible. I really wish I had opportunities. The hottest girl in my high school, Michelle Gilliam. Big shout out to her. We were still Facebook friends. We used to skip school and go back to my apartment and watch and like listen to records and shit. And I remember we were just friends. She was so hot. I thought she was out of my league. And I remember one day she goes, "What would you do if I came on to you? If I tried to have sex with you?" And I was like, "Well," and just me being the funny kid that I was like, "Well, I would be like, Michelle, we're too good of friends. I don't want to ruin that. And then she goes, oh, okay. And then walks to my bed, takes her shirt off. I mean, perfect boobs. She was the hottest, perfect in every way. She leans into me and whispers in my ear, I want to fuck the shit out of you. And then I'm just like, ugh. And then she's like, well, gotta go. And then she walked off and we never hung out again. I don't know what happened or something, but it was like we never got that opportunity again.
What?
And that would have been like, you know how you were talking about maybe I mentioned it, but you brought it, like we were just talking about like the bags that we carry around.
Yeah.
If I would have grabbed her in that moment and just started kissing her and then made love to her, because it would have been making love. It would have been because I loved her. She was the hottest girl. I'd be one of the most successful comedians in the world right now. Do you know what I mean? Because I owned that moment.
Right.
I owned it, and it was like, do you know what I mean? It was just like you have that strength. That is the reason for so many moments that I doubted myself, or I, before the set already had said they're going to hate me, instead of being like, fuck that, dude. I tell that to people on stage. It's like when you own the moment, whether it's, it's talking in public, singing, or like the girl's on my couch when I was 19 and we went on a date and she's waiting for me to kiss her. She's waiting. It's 4 a.m. We're watching Holy Man by Eddie Murphy, the worst movie ever. She's waiting for me to kiss her, and I pussied out and I didn't. It could have changed everything in my life.
Yeah, man, you gotta go for those moments, man.
Go for it.
You never know when you're gonna have them again, but you also have to learn those things through trial and error.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
but you did a good thing. Listen, you definitely have gotten hard again. So
I've been hard. I've been hard as hell ever since that day, and I've never not been hard. It's actually so uncomfortable in the gym.
The worst. The gym is the best place. And tell me if I'm wrong. It's the best. Like, I don't even mask my farts. I just rip farts at the gym because everybody's listening to music.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. And I mean, all the protein and fucking pre-workout, I'll just rip farts.
Gross. Yeah.
It is gross. Yeah. I know.
But you know what? You're there for you. You're not there for nobody else. You're there for your regulatory system. So if you need to fart and flatulate, is that
flatulate?
Flatulate? Can you say that?
You can
flatulate.
Say it. I'll accept it. All right. So that's the first song. Second song on the record is "Please Don't Stay Once You Go Away." The title is a sort of peculiar. This title is sort of peculiar as it seems to be asking someone not to stay once they've left, although he never sings that in the lyrics. Rather, he's pleading with her to stay. You'll also notice the stacks of harmony vocals, which are all Marvin's. I was wondering who those were. This record famously used the technique of multi-tracking, which was in common use. However, the passionate textures of so many Marvin's really sets a mood, and you can hear the inspiration it had on so many other great soul and R&B artists like D'Angelo and Prince and Lenny Kravitz, just to name a few. I want to ask you about something pertaining to voices and going away. Is it true that you got over your childhood stutter by rapping?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I used to have a terrible stutters, which did not help me out with ladies or public speaking, and it made me even more self-conscious than I already was. And but I was really into rapping and writing raps, and I wanted to be the best rapper ever. And I would write these raps all day, every day. I'm so sorry. I have a lot of shit happening in my body. But I really wanted to be a great rapper, and I really wanted to battle, and I wrote raps all day. And one of my homies was like, yo, you write these raps all the time. Battle me, bro. Battle me at lunch. So we would go and we battled. I would be sitting there shivering with my little shit, and I would be stuttering through it. But like, as I was like slowing down to read the words and get them right, I was stuttering less. And then when I would like actually get a line out that was clever, people were like, "Oh shit!" And so I got addicted to it immediately. Like, and so I was like, the more I just practiced doing that. Now I would say I don't know how these kids, maybe they were just laughing at us the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But like for that first half a year, we would have these little stutter battles, and I would stutter through these raps, and then eventually, anytime, like I would still stutter when I'm asking questions, stutter when I was nervous, but when I would perform, I would just go to a place, And I was like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna use this to like help me figure it out. So anytime I would start studying, I would just remind myself to slow down like I did when I was rapping. I was like, just take your time with every word and blah blah blah.
Wow.
And and over time I just it just kicked it. You know
Did you ever think about doing like a Childish Gambino thing, like still doing the comedy and still doing acting? But
yeah, I'm still making music. I got this Audible project that we've been working on for like 5 years because my schedule.
I think you told me about that. We were at front of the cellar.
Yeah, I probably told you about this like years ago because
Yeah.
like that's how long it's been. But it's almost done now, and then after that comes out, I'll be working on a project I've always wanted to do. So I've always been making music. I always work on music. When I got into comedy, you know, when I started doing stand up, I was very specific about never doing music because I didn't want to because I felt like it was helping. I felt like I didn't want to be one of those comics that just raps because like you can do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a rapper for real. Like I don't need to I want to get good at this without the help of this thing.
Yeah.
And just use whatever tools carry over, but I don't want to. These are two separate things. I need to practice each and like deliver them separately.
Sure.
And then improv brought it all together. Was like, oh, you can do funny raps. And then I didn't even think about that kind of shit. Like when I was coming up, I didn't look at Weird Al as like a genius until I got into comedy. And I was like, oh, that nigga's great.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize though, like. To me, it was like, that nigga's silly, you know? But I like silly rappers, like Luda, you know what I'm saying? I like all those guys, but I was also in the burbs at the time, so I didn't need to be too silly, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas still had to take me serious.
Sure.
So I had to prove myself. On every scene I went to, I had to prove myself. So I was like, I can't be having niggas laughing and shit. That was the wrong mentality. I should have just embraced me. But
yeah.
I didn't learn that way later. So comedy is the first place where I really embraced me truly. And once I did, I started making shit that actually resonated with people. Mm-hmm. So then I got on SNL, and we, got an Emmy for writing music, and we wrote a bunch of dope hits on there that we would beg them to put out, and they just wouldn't do it.
What was the project or sketch? Let's call it that. What was the sketch you probably are most proud of rapping musically that you did on SNL?
Oh, rapping.
Because you did a bunch.
I mean, it was
great.
I did a bunch, man. I was really happy to be able to do that. I have a lot that I really love. I mean, Friendos was like one of the best. That was like, it was a Migos parody. That shit was so tough, from top to bottom. Working with Donald Glover and everything. But there were some verses. Honestly, man, one of the ones I'm really proud of is NFT, with Pete Davidson, because that was the hardest verse I've ever had to rap in comedy, in my comedy career.
Yeah.
It was, I had to rewrite, I basically took Eminem's verse and his speed,
which is
difficult. Within Forget About Dre.
Yeah.
And I had to which is very, very difficult to also get across your jokes and get the speed down. And man, that and then when I pulled it off and then we played it and people were like, oh my God,
yeah, how
the hell did you go that fast? I'm like, yeah, that's there.
Good.
I felt awesome about that. But
that's awesome.
Any one of them tracks, man, outside there's a really stupid song that we did with a very amazing James McAvoy, amazing actor. I love this dude for doing this. We did this My Bitch, My Dogs. It was a song that you thought was gonna be about my bitches, but it was really about dogs. It was maybe the dumbest sketch we've ever written and shouldn't have been on.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember.
Shouldn't have been on the show, but really glad it made it.
Have you seen that video? I don't know who this guy is. This black dude with locks or braids. He's like, it's my dog, my twin, and it's like the way the video shot. It's almost like one of those high school yearbook photos where he's looking out that way, and then it just shows his dog, and it's probably a Saint Charles Terrier.
Yeah.
It's a song about his dog. It's like, you my twin, this my dog. You don't know what I'm talking about? Damn it. It's so great.
I would say after I wrote that dog sketch, I think I didn't look at any more dog material.
Oh. I make songs for my dog.
But that idea sounded even better than ours. So, so there's, but I think because of the difficulty of what it takes to get shit on there, I'm pretty proud of them all.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. All right, If I Should Die Tonight. This is another song that was co-written with producer Ed Townsend. according to Townsend, he wrote this after an encounter with a woman he admired from afar. The woman convinced Townsend that they could not build happiness on the misery of others, as they both were in relationships with other people. He told her she was right, and he was prepared to walk away from her the last time. She asked, "Is that all you have to say?" To which he responded, "No. If I should die tonight, Lord, before my time, I won't die blue, 'cause I've known you." It's pretty gangster. He ran home to write it and then brought it to Marvin. But as Marvin felt he could not sing a song that he didn't directly pertain to his personal experience, he initially turned it down. Then he found himself in Los Angeles working on this record and went on a date with his future second wife, Janice Hunter. And he understood the inspiration and ran back to the studio to say, "Ed, get that song out. I can sing that son of a bitch now." That's pretty gangster.
That's crazy.
And I love that. I love that he was like, Marvin had to feel and had to connect with them.
Damn, imagine if artists still felt that way.
Dude,
There'd be way less music, I think.
give me a hit. That's all they want now. Just give
all
me
of
a hit.
Future's catalog would be a rap, because not just a rap, but
A
it would
rap
be
be
done.
over. Yeah.
Because like he raps about a bunch of stuff he don't particularly do.
Sure.
And he's not the only one. He's just the one I thought of. But
I mean,
like,
so many artists
God, that's crazy.
are not
I
writing
think
their
that-
own stuff.
I think that's a little bit of getting in your own way, a little bit. But also, I respect the fuck out of it.
Well, it's like, would you write if somebody ever given you a joke that you're
No.
like, oh yeah, exactly. It's like I have people that tag shit.
They
Like,
tag, yeah. They'll tag some, and we'll talk it. We'll talk some shit. We'll talk like out a thing, like, but like, yeah, not.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like that. I guess.
So speaking of pertaining to inhabiting a different character like Marvin didn't want to do, but then eventually did. Since you were on SNL, what are the favorite characters that you were able to play while you were on that show, like real or created?
Man, Eric Adams, pre-Nazi Kanye. Because
Can I ask you a question? And I
Yeah.
know this is, and because I have all three Air Yeezys, and I just bought the foam runners.
all three.
There's
so many.
I have the Red Octobers.
Right.
I have the black ones with the green.
Mhm.
Those are three of my favorite sneakers.
Yeah.
What does the culture feel about what Kanye's done now? I ask a lot of black people this because I'm very curious, like with all the shit that he's doing. And go back to that question after that.
Yeah.
But I'm serious, like.
I mean, listen, it's just like we just know what's up with him, and it's just no really saving him. So it's just kind of like, bro, we just not giving him much attention right now. So, I think there's always gonna be people who are going to feed into that, but I think a lot of people with common sense are just like, bro, he's just wilding, and it's just really, I just can't take him serious, bro.
Yeah.
And I just think he's is
troubled,
being more hurtful than not. And but I will say that I'm not throwing away one pair of them shoes.
I know.
Nigga, I bought them shoes.
I just bought foam runners
I fucking bought them shoes
to
people.
walk my dog. I just bought
Yeah.
the red foam runners, and they're so comfortable.
Very comfortable shoes. I spent a lot of money on them shoes. I saw people burning them. I saw people cutting them up. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Sell
that.
them if you don't want them anymore.
I don't
Sell them.
Yeah, there's somebody who wear them, but is there coming back for Kanye?
I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, neither do I.
This would it would be some shit we see happen and be like, damn, I never thought that would. I don't know where he's coming back from. I don't know where he's at now. You know,
he's
I can't
wearing
really,
a Klan outfit.
Yeah,
on
man.
that new thing.
And,
That's
and,
insane.
And this is how crazy it is. It's because like people in the comments like, I can't believe he said that about his kids. No one mentioned the fact he's fucking dressed like a black Klansman. Like, not one comment. They're all talking about what he's talking about. Like, how do you even listen to what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck what he's talking about?
I know.
Look at how he's dressed.
I know.
Come
It's
on,
sad.
man.
It's really
It's
sad
crazy.
because he's
Crazy.
ruining the catalog of music and what he's done so much good for the entertainment industry and for black people.
It's gonna be a tough take, but can't nobody ruin what I felt when I first heard Kanye. Can't nobody ruin those albums I love.
I get it.
Like, I can bump those records still. I can. I can bump those. He wasn't who he was, and even if he was, he hit it well.
Yeah.
These I like them songs. I bumped them songs. Now, Kelly was a different thing, cause he tied in the songs he was writing about the chicks he had trapped, and that's weird. That's a harder thing to work around. You know what I mean? But Kanye wasn't trapping little girls with buckets and making graduation. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was, that's a different thing.
Sure.
But like, you know, he went off on the Nazi train or whatever the fuck he's doing right now.
Come on, ride the train. The Nazi.
Saying hell.
Come on, ride the train. It's the Nazi train.
Saying hell. Oh, God, no. They're going to take that and use that.
That's our clip, by the way.
Oh, no. Just no context.
Hilarious. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. All right, back to the good stuff. So what's the characters? Eric Adams, pre-racist Kanye.
Yeah. Eric Adams, pre-Nazi Yeezy. So crazy to say that. Oh, I mean, there's probably, dude, I haven't thought about SNL in quite a while, purposely. So I can't think of nothing off the top. But look, man. Soulja Boy, that shit was super fun.
It's great.
Doing Smokey was fun. Every music video that we did, I was playing a little character. On the Couch was really good too. Shout out to Dan Bulla. He's a beast writer. Yeah, he writes for Adam Sandler too, or not writes with I don't
Sandler.
know their I don't know their creative structure, but they tour together and they do stuff. Music stuff, not sexual stuff.
You heard it here first, people.
Oh no, Adam
Sandler taking in the butt.
Oh no,
to this album is what they fuck to.
Oh no,
You heard it here.
None of that's confirmed. No. I don't know any of that
don't
shit.
Clip that.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
Don't clip that. Mark it down. We might cut that.
But yeah, man. I mean, those are some of my favorites. Stephen A. Smith, definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
You're great at Stephen A. Dude.
I love doing Stephen A. Smith. That was really fun.
I love it. Yeah. All right, keep getting it on. He just keeps going. This is essentially a reprise. Goddamn, I don't know how to talk. Of the title track, but expands on the theme of sexual connection by adding political and pacifist concepts.
That's what I love about sex is the political discourse.
How do you avoid turmoil? How do you keep your inner peace? What do? You said you went to therapy. Is that new or is it like?
I've been in therapy for some years now, but now I'm with a therapist that's getting to the nitty gritty of shit.
Yeah.
And that's been about a year. In the making, and I got a psychiatrist now to kind of figure out what kind of depression I had, because I have chronic depression, but we have to do some like blood work and stuff and like figure out what's else, because I have ADHD, but I think that it's really my anxiety and my depression that's like giving me those ADHD symptoms. Sorry, I'm really peeling back the veil on what's going on here. But so yeah, all that shit started happening when I got this new therapist, and so I've been doing some of the work, but I feel like I've been circling around it, and now I'm finally landing in it. Turmoil, as far as turmoil is concerned, I feel like, I pushed through. I used to compartmentalize. I used to just hustle and if I had an issue, just like hustle your way through it. I still kind of do that, but I try to just really check out and check into my life and check out of what stresses me. I try to do that as much as I can. Try to take care of me. I work out a bunch, you know what I mean? Just try to stay consistent with that kind of thing. Routine. Yeah, but also I'm an Aries. I'm fiery. I like to fight. I like to debate. I like to argue. So sometimes I just run head on. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So it's kind of what I'm feeling. But I never want to crash out, So there's that.
Good for you, dude. Hey, it's so funny. Like you since I've known you, I was like, oh, like you're confident, charismatic. Watch you on stage, you own it, and I love when I talk to somebody that you always on the outside seems like it's like this, but it's like, dude, we're all dealing with shit. Yeah, even the shit we just read about Marvin, it's crazy. Like you never would have thought that.
And my life was so much harder before this. Like, I had 50 jobs. I didn't make it in rap. So my first dream literally died in front of me in my arms. You know what I'm saying? And I spent I spent up until 22 chasing that dream, and I started at 12, 13 writing raps. Like that was all I wanted to do. I had already had a dream die. I'd already tried to, I'd already ran the streets, tried to prove myself, did all these little things, and like got in a fight after fight after fight after fight to get over to this world of it where I'm just dealing with like comedians and like, it just felt like a second chance at trying to get something right for myself. And every problem that people had, like not getting picked for things and shit, wasn't in relation, just wasn't like, this is not gonna break me, bro. If that other shit can't break me, this can't break me, bro.
Sure.
I just gotta keep going. As long as I keep going, stay consistent, you know what I'm saying, blessings and shit will come. So
I want to
blessings and shit. That's the name of my album.
Love that. I love that. And hold that thought because it's going to go into the next question too. So the next song is Come Get to This. This second single sounds the most like the Motown Marvin Gaye of the 60s with its swinging shuffle and doo-wop vocals. That makes sense because this was written and recorded as a demo during the entire What's Going On sessions in 1970. But it also makes sense that Motown heard this and wanted it to be a single, probably so they could try to recapture Marvin's previous audience who might be nostalgic for his old sound. What's some of the best and worst career advice you've ever gotten, and did you take either?
One of the worst career advice that I've ever gotten was from a comic. I had just started doing stand-up. And we kicked it. It was in the city of Chicago. It was like after this show, and I did terribly.
Yeah, bad set.
Yeah, it's like a couple sets after the first time you get a rhythm on stage, and you just think like, now I had a rapper ego, so I was like, oh, I got it. I figured it out. And then I didn't realize stand-up is like, oh, every single time is different until you really know what the fuck you're doing. And it can take forever.
Yeah.
So I go in there and I fucking bomb. I bomb hard.
Black room or white room? Regular room? Like
it was, mostly black, but there was some white people in there too. It was
black host?
Yes.
Oh.
Black
you apart?
Yeah. See, in Chicago, there's definitely black rooms, definitely white rooms, but then there's like this little mix of like, depending on where you are in the city, it could be like either or. And so it was definitely like a strong black room, but like had some white folks in it. I bombed hard as fuck. And then I went out and I was like, man, I was just venting to this dude because he's been in comedy 10 years. He kept telling me I've been in this game 10 years. I'm like, all right. And I was like, well, I just really want to tell these stories with heavy jokes in it. You know what I mean? And just tell a story about how I was like, I'm in the city and I'm in the burbs and how these lives have clashed and be trying to find my footing and do characters. And he was like, well, good luck with that shit because that ain't never going to work. And I was like, oh, so my life is not gonna work.
Yeah,
and he's just like, nah, man, you gotta pick something, yo. You said a whole lot of shit. You gotta be funny, man. And I'm like, okay, that was literally the first advice I got. First advice I got in comedy. Did not listen to that, not one bit.
Yeah,
I was like, that sounds stupid.
Is he doing it? Is he still?
He's right where I met him.
Yeah.
He's right where I'm at.
Obviously.
Yeah. And he hits me up all the time asking me like what classes I took. Because I was telling him I was doing improv and stand-up. And you understand, in Chicago, doing improv and stand-up at the same time, these are two different people, bro. Like, two different communities.
Sure.
Improv, they're all like, yay! But stand-up's like, ew.
Yeah.
What is all this yay shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're meaner. Like, stand-ups are just meaner in general. Like, just, even how we communicate love is just more aggressive than improvisers. Improvisers are very much like everybody, and then when they get to the bar, they shit talk who they want.
Sure, but it's you can't improv you can improv by yourself, but
you need other people. You definitely need
people.
other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that the guy that was just on before this episode comes out, was released today, is Greg Proops. You know Greg?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
That guy is
you're
so
talking,
funny.
You're talking the fucking, as an improver, he reached the highest of highs that you could get to with Whose Line.
I mean, now that they got Drop TV, there's a lot of dope outlets for improvisers to make real money and do it on an elite level, which is super dope. Holla at me anytime. But Whose Line is the old school version of that. It's still going. I don't want to call it I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
We just had Wayne Brady do some shit for us on this Audible project. It was really cool. But yeah, man, like he's like that was like that's a short form games. That's all short form improv. But like now we get to see long form improv and all that shit. So I mean, I always salute those guys on Whose Line because they broke the barrier. They were the first guys that get rich off this shit.
They installed cable in my parents' home when I was 10 or 11. The first thing I did was put on Comedy Central, and that was him. It was the tall white. I don't remember everybody's name. But
the tall dude.
Yeah,
he's so funny.
It was great, and
he kind of looked like a bird a little bit.
100%.
That motherfucker is hilarious.
Hilarious. But Greg, we did his was a 2-part episode because he talks so much. Because we try to get through every track. Like we're almost done, and usually go about an hour 15. We did 2 hours, and then he came back 2 days later. Because I didn't even get to ask him questions about Whose Line.
Right.
And
so you needed all the content.
I was like, dude, it was like everything was great, but I was like, if I'm gonna have you on, like obviously it's like we want to ask you about some of the most important things that you've done. So it's like I gotta mention SNL, I've gotta mention the movies, I gotta mention all that shit. But it's like with him, it's like I gotta mention Whose Line, and we didn't even fucking talk about. We like grazed it. So he's good. He's very good at speaking. Let's just say that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I get the whole improv thing.
Most improvisers are amazing conversationalists.
Well, you have to be. It's all about listening
listening, all about respond, and then it's about pulling memories, references, all of that shit. So like, improvisers are some of the best people to sit down and like just shoot the shit with. You know what I'm saying? If you're good at comedy, stand-ups are great.
Sure. 100%.
If you're trash at comedy, you're having a different hang than everyone else. You're having a very different experience.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, where were we? You gave the best. Did you give that was the worst advice? What was the best advice?
Best advice I got was it was from a random like a random kid. I was in between jobs. I think it was my 28th job I had. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out my direction in life, and I was going up to get a Swisher at one of these gas stations in Aurora, and this kid pulls up, it's about the same age as me, fire ass car, bro, fire, and I was like, what the fuck do you? I couldn't help but just ask this nigga what he does. Like, what do you do, bro? What do you do? Because I'm walking, I got a wife beater on, I don't even have a wife. Yeah, what do you do? And he was just like, honestly, man, I just I buckled down, man. Like for 3 years straight, I didn't go out. I didn't do anything that wasn't adding to the purpose, adding to my hustle. And I focused completely, and I busted my ass. He's like, you're gonna miss out on a lot of things, but then when that thing starts hitting, that's when you can really live life. And this shit stuck with me. I created every when I came to do comedy, I did that. I did 3 years. I gave it 3 years. I didn't know anything about comedy then. So I was like, 3 years. If I don't make it, I move on.
I remember an article or something about you when you popped, and it was about, I think it was when you got the movie.
Yeah.
And they said you'd set this timeline. So go ahead.
I set this timeline. So anytime I'm in a new chapter of my life, like I'm in a new chapter right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like 3 years. I got 3 years to figure out some shit. Now it's different now, you know what I mean? But similar in the fact that like 90% of what I do now is still work to build towards the next thing. Then you get to have a little fun, you know what I'm saying, after you've had established the thing. But like it really honed in the work ethic that I kind of already had from just like seeing my folks and just I've always been a worker. But it was something about that, because skipping out on fun was not something I was naturally good at doing. I had to like make strong decisions.
Tough, dude. It's tough to give up. I was a DJ, and I worked private parties for 7 years in my 20s, while every one of my friends would just, we're going to this thing Friday night, can you come? And I'm like, I gotta fucking work. Yeah. And I mean, ultimately it worked out, but you know, it sucks when you're fucking,
you miss that shit.
When you're in your 20s. Now the older you get, you're like, man, I don't give a fuck. But like, I don't regret it because it all added to this. But you know, those are years.
You can't regret it, because it's like, yeah, of course, there's like things that I wish I'd have done. Maybe if I think about it randomly one day. But like a lot of the shit I skipped out on, I would have fucking hated with no money. Like like I could not afford to do the things that I wanted to go out and do anyway. So it would be me using the last of my last to go to some club.
Sure.
To then learn about the club. You know what I mean? And learn that you can't afford shit there. So now you just spend all your money getting up in here, got a couple girls' drinks, and you out.
Yeah.
You're just tapped out. Now you're trying to get out. Now you're trying to get home. I ain't got enough gas. What the fuck I think I am going outside trying to get a girl and I can't even fill my tank up, bruh?
Yeah.
That's stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, get your life together.
Totally.
You know? And so like that's what the ultimate lesson was. It's like figure yourself out before you put yourself on other motherfuckers.
I love it.
No,
that's true. That's true. All right. Distant Lover. This slow jam simmers and boils over and becomes a female fan favorite, causing a sexual frenzy. In concert.
Ooh.
It's in the thick of it. Anything you want to add on that, or
I've just never been in a sexual frenzy before.
Really?
It's like, what is a fucking sexual frenzy?
I'm assuming that's what Diddy's
Diddy's freak-offs might have been a frenzy. That's a sexual frenzy.
Have you ever been to a sex party? Have you ever been to? I got invited. A girl that I'm friends with. I'm not gonna name who she is, but you might not know her. You might, but she was like, "What are you doing Friday night?" And she's like, "I'm going to a sex party. Do you want to come?" And I was like, because at first I was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then like ... She's like, "Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? I've never been. I have an early show." And then she's like, "All right, wear something nice." And she picks me up. She looks great. She's like this tall model, like, you know, perfect body.
Yeah.
And we go, and it's in Soho in this loft. I mean, that's probably a $3 or $4 million, you know, value.
This man starts describing my home.
Dude, it was your place?
He's like,
dude.
Oh wait, it's pictures of you all over the wall.
I mean, I was like, wait, is that?
I'm sorry.
That is. We hooked up, but it was crazy just to see. Everybody was good looking.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say like a little over 100. And
wow, this was like a high society sex party.
Dude, just not to take too much time on it, but it was, you walk in and there's like coats and chairs, then there's a bar and a dance floor, and then you go behind this next curtain and there's four beds, and then a center bed. And then you go back to a back room and there was a bed and then like a place you could almost like tie somebody up and like beat them with like whips and chains. Yeah. And people are just mingling, and then there's some people fucking over there, and then the guy comes up and he explains, "All right, everybody, we raised all this money for cancer research," and
what?
Yeah, dude. It was it. So there's like these are good, you know, wholesome freaks. And then he goes, "All right, everybody, so that's it, and just enjoy yourselves." And then some people drank, some people danced. Some people, and they're all in underwear, and then people went and they started fucking, and then me and her went to the back room where that thing to tie people up is, and there's people talking over there, and she lays me on the bed, and she pulls my dick out, and she starts sucking my dick, and I'm, you know, hard, because I took a Viagra ahead of time. Because I'm like, there's no way. I don't want to be the guy that's just give me a second.
You can't go
play
to a
with
sex
my
party
butthole.
not ready.
Yeah,
you can't be like, let's get in.
I know, I did not want to be, and I knew that there might be that possibility because sex is all about mental. It's about being present.
Yeah,
and I'm getting a blowjob. I might have told this on here, but I'm getting a blowjob, and then one of the dudes that was in the conference, because you could like hear people talking. They're like, you know, I just heard Bitcoin went up to 75. I was like, and you hear all that.
That's so weird.
And
dog.
I'm laying there and I'm trying to enjoy it. And then I open my eyes, and this like tall Scandinavian dude in like lederhosen made out of latex is just looking at me, and he's holding his drink. And then he's like, "Looks like you are having a good time." And I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. And he's like, you know, enjoy the blowjob. And then he just walks away, and then he goes to fuck. And then we went into the other room a few minutes later, and then we're making out, and there's people fucking there. And then it's just kind of like this group of people fucking, and then me and the girl, it just kind of folds into each other. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you're like, and then she, after a few minutes, takes me out. She goes, "Yeah, that was about to turn into just like a gangbang. I don't know if you were ready for that." And I was like, "No, I wasn't really." I'm not saying I wouldn't have. I can't. I once ruined a threesome. It would have been a foursome. Me and Nev Campbell's brother, and then these two girls from Big Wangs in Hollywood. I know, and he looked just like Nev Campbell. and we were all on Molly, and we were
such a
at
random person.
I know, and he looked just like Nev Campbell. So imagine Nev Campbell with a dick, and he's
I don't
looking
want to.
exactly
Just for me, just how I live my
you
life.
should. I'm sorry I brought that into your head. But just know that it exists.
I like my Nev Campbell the way it is.
and that's a good Nev Campbell.
Soupy.
But not with a dick. And so they're hooking up, and then they were trying to kind of make it like a foursome, and I it was just because the guy was there. It just you know what I mean? Me and two girls, great. Me and a girl, and then a guy and a girl, and even if he's fucking over there and I'm fucking here, that just feels obtuse.
A lot going on, man.
Yeah, it's a lot
going on.
Yeah,
man. No judgments,
None.
whatsoever.
If you want to do that, and like he says at the beginning in the preamble, if you're a consenting adult, whatever you're into is
get after it.
Get into it. I'm no judgment. I just don't know if I'm willing to cross over into that territory. And the idea of what Diddy did, I don't know. Even if it's just not my thing to just group.
Nah.
Yeah, right?
Nah, I'm not really with it, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, it's, nah. I can't even imagine having small talk while I'm getting my dick sucked, bruh. Like, with a man drinking wine in a latex suit.
Latex,
throw me
later
off.
hose it. Natalie, you know who the girl's been on? She was on Himbos.
Is it who I think it is?
The tall blonde chick?
Yeah.
She's the shit.
That makes sense.
She's very, dude, Chris, she's like an elder. Like when we showed up, people were like, oh my God, that's blah, 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 blah. Because she does like like sexual podcasting.
Gosh.
She knows a lot of porn stars. She does like interview shows.
Yeah.
And, I'm not kind of calling her out because we've talked about it on another podcast, but like.
No, that story is fucking awesome. And I think it's dope. I just haven't done that.
That's not, yeah.
That's just, I don't have sex and party for him.
It's odd. It's odd if you're not. Some people that's their thing.
Yeah.
That's how they get off.
Yeah.
That's not mine.
I think when I was single and I was like really out here at one point, I thought I might be like into like a polyamorous situation. You know what I'm saying? Because I was dating a couple folks and they knew about each other and shit. So I thought that's what I wanted. You know what I mean? That's as far as I've gotten. As far as like, as far as group shit, I just think about shit too much and probably a little toxic.
Sure.
But it's like I don't want to follow after.
I know.
All these motherfuckers.
I
Who
know.
are these people?
I know.
I don't want to follow. I don't want to be last. I'm not first.
I have a threesome.
So I don't want to be last.
I have a threesome being set up in L.A. between this chick that I hook up with and her friend, and like that I'm cool with. That I'm like, all right, me and two girls. Me and my girlfriend once had a threesome. But it's just if they're like, oh well, we're gonna bring a guy into it, and they're gonna be.
Now you're changing something. You're like, are we closing our house? What are we doing?
And
like,
it's not even a gay thing. It's not even a gay thing.
It's like it's not at all. But you just changing the dynamic. When you got a sack of balls that ain't mine in the room, that changes the dynamic completely, bro.
A sack of balls.
You know what I'm saying? You got a sack of balls outside. That changes the dynamic of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of dynamic, the next song, You Sure Love to Ball.
Oh, your transition game is crazy.
I'm trying, dude. We got this one and one more, and then I want to get your Mount Rushmore of fuck music, and we'll get you out of here. You Sure Love to Ball. Well, if we've tried to settle around the subject of sex so far, it's sort of hard to when this third and final single has the sound of there's literally a sound of a couple fucking in the record, if you didn't know that. Have you ever been overpowered by a partner or mate's libido or sexuality? Have you ever been somebody more? Because I dated my last real girlfriend, Tessa, who is incredible and I love her to death. She was younger. She was in her 20s, and it was like I was late 30s, and it was like, God damn, like I only have so much I can do. I get one nut a day. Now I got one if I'm lucky. But it's like, have you ever been with somebody that just is more than you?
Yeah, man. One of my early exes, and I was younger, so I don't know if I should count her as ex at this point, but she's on my record. I was like 16, 17. I think it was 17. No, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, at this point, I had dated. I knew every girl at my school, so So now I'm meeting girls at football games, and then then we hitting them up on AOL chat, just getting to know chicks. So
Yeah.
I think I met her once at like one of the football games because she was from a couple cities over, and then I we started talking online. Then I came to her crib, and we started this relationship. I was like, damn, she's freaky. This is crazy. She was way freakier than I could ever keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
I go home. This is some shit I learned a little bit later. I go home and there's another guy waiting to come right in there. She ended up sleeping with a bunch of dudes I knew.
Oh wow!
Which I found out. I found out later. It didn't last that long, but I found out later though. She became a stripper in the middle of our relationship.
Good for her.
You know what I'm saying? Just get that money. Get that bread.
That money.
Just get that bread though. I remember one day she came home like, what if I just became a stripper? Would you still love me? I'm like, I don't what?
Could you date a girl that if she did like OnlyFans, like, and could you date a porn star?
No.
Date, not fuck, because we know we can fuck a porn star, but could you date?
I'm not built like that.
Yeah.
I'm not built like. Now I've had friends who are into porn. You know what I'm saying, and I get that lifestyle, and I don't judge them at all by any means.
No judgment.
But if you actively, I could never see myself being with someone who's actively working.
Yeah.
Like, nah. And then even after that, I don't know. But I can say with certainty, like I'm just not built. There's a certain kind of, you got to be built a certain way for that kind of thing, and I'm not built like that.
It's tough. There was a porn star that really liked me. She was so sweet, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be with a girl that's been bukkakied once, let alone 50 times, and that's a low number.
But she's been paid though.
She made a lot of money, but I got money.
I don't even. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But dude, porn, it's like, because I thought about that. I was like, man, we could just move into a house together. We could be doing this, that, and the other thing.
You considered the life.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it for a moment because millionaire, and she's very sweet. But
yeah.
And Tessa did Playboy, but she never did porn. And she even when she did OnlyFans, we weren't together at that point. She would show like. She would do like softcore, like she would show like you'd see her vagina, but you wouldn't see like the pussy. You know what I mean? You'd see like it was like in like the movies in the 70s they show bush, but and you'd see maybe the line, but you didn't see.
That's like a sex model, right?
Yeah, but
that's different.
But
than
like
a porn star.
Porn, like, dude, there's
there's
girls on OnlyFans that I like talk to or stuff that do like straight up porn, and I'm like, yeah, like we can hang out, but I just don't know if I have the capability to. And it's not them. Fuck, I don't know. It's not no judgment. I don't. Dude, get that fucking money.
Thing. I will be annoying to you, whoever this is. If you do porn, I'll be annoying. I get insecure as hell.
Yeah.
I'm going to be thinking about that shit all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get you to stop. I'll be that dude in the strip club. Be like, you don't need to be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that.
I'll be that in the relationship.
I've seen those guys.
I don't want to be that person to nobody. I don't want that person because you could date somebody who's easily with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to be with it. And I don't think any porn star's missing me. But, it's just like not a thing I could do. Yeah, and this she ended up like working at my Sam's Club. She fucked the manager. She fucked
at your Costco, at your fucking bulk.
Club, she was fucking motherfuckers in bulk.
In bulk.
She was fucking motherfuckers in bulk.
God, damn.
Dog, the manager. I didn't even know the manager fucked. Like I didn't think he got no. He looked celibate.
Is that
you ever seen somebody that looks celibate?
Isn't that the worst when you hook up with a girl or you're dating or fucking a girl and you're like, yeah, and then she fucks a dude that you look on as a lower stat? You know what I mean? You're like, you fucked that dude.
Like, what?
You fucked that guy.
Well, I tried, because I'm not perfect. So I tried not, I truly be working on this a lot. Like I try not to judge people based on who they've been with. But in this particular situation, when I saw her fuck the Sam's Club manager, the assistant manager,
even worse.
When I saw her fuck this, and I saw how he be wearing his khakis, I was like, you know what? This ain't got shit to do with me.
Yeah,
this is her thing.
Yeah,
like she has fully something else going on. Nothing I was ever gonna do. It released me when I saw her.
Yeah,
fuck that guy. I was like, oh my god.
Easy way to make a clean break then.
Well, it was we were done, but I
Sure,
was
but
reeling
you-
off of finding out all this information.
Yeah, but
I was reeling.
Yeah.
And then I saw that and I was like, and everything just.
Yeah.
Like-
It's almost like thank you for doing that because now I am released.
I can fully
Hilarious.
close that chapter.
So last song is Just to Keep You Satisfied. It's a great way to end the record. Because of time, I wanna get to the question I asked. I said to you, what would be? I think we were at the Cellar, and I was like, when you get ready to do this, I was like, if you had to put on your Mount Rushmore of music you fuck to, what is on your Mount Rushmore? Do you fuck to music?
Yeah. But at this point, I don't give a fuck what's on. Lately, it's
Really?
been crime documentaries.
Come on, dude.
Well, we're horny, bro. When we want to go, we go, bro.
I get that, but
you know
you,
what I'm saying?
dude.
There could be any fucking thing on, Josh.
Dude.
I'm not stopping the
No,
movement to be
dude. Wait, hold on. No, Big J with that blonde chick. Because I do a lot of material about fucking the music and I talk about it.
Yeah.
He asked her. He goes, does he really fuck the music? He goes, oh yeah. And then, but he'll be in the middle of hooking up and he'll just go, Alexa, play Portishead with my pirate voice. So
That's great.
I'm actually going tonight to see one of probably the best rock bands to fuck to. I'm going to see Deftones. Which, do you know Deftones?
I don't.
I watched you change, ew, like you never. No, nothing.
You fuck to that?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
I do. I would say my Mount Rushmore, and I would love you to put together your Mount Rushmore. I would say mine is Massive Attack, Portishead, which I just went to go see Portishead. Well, I saw Beth from Portishead 2 nights ago at the Beacon. It was incredible. I'd say Massive Attack, Portishead. I would say Deftones. I would say The Cure, Disintegration, only Disintegration by The Cure. And then I would say, Interpol, something. It's got to be slow and dark. For a moment, I was fucking to Ronnie Size, which is like drum and bass. It's like
Okay.
He's an album called New Forms, which actually won the Mercury Music Prize, so it is a respectable record in the drum and bass and the musical world. But I would fuck to that for a while. But I'm so dialed in to Massive Attack and Portishead, which is like British trip hop. Do you know that?
No, every word you said does not resonate with my life. But this is super dope, and I'm gonna look up Portishead.
Can you? Oh, that's so funny. The porn star just texted me. Hold on. Can you?
Ringing,
It's so funny, dude. That's crazy. She hasn't texted me in weeks. Can you put on? Can you, Nat? Can you put on the song? Let's do "Glory Box" by Portishead. Can you put that on for us and on our headphones? Yeah, those are my. What do you have? What do you have on your Mount Rushmore of fuck music? If you
Okay.
What do you got?
Let me see. All right. Now, this would change if I could have even more time to think about this.
Sure.
It's been a while since we still fuck to music, but it's like there's a lot of great sex music. But the things that I'm just gonna give you the ones that came to mind.
Okay, hit me.
Usher, Nice and Slow.
It's great.
One of them's gonna be Pony. Fiendin' by Jodeci.
Which one's that? A good falsetto.
Thank you. Ooh. How many we get?
Yeah, that's like 3.
That's 3.
Yeah, what do you got?
I Gotta Be, Jagged Edge.
Okay, I see where you're at. Okay.
Yeah. This is when I was really doing that.
Sure.
How many do I get?
You got one more.
One more. All right. And this one is not about fucking, but I may have fucked the longest to this song. California Dreaming by Jose Feliciano. Feliciano, thank you.
California Dreaming?
Yes.
California.
But that's not the vibe of his.
That's so funny that you say.
I'll play it. Hold on, I'm gonna play it right now. This is the vibe. And we were in LA. and the sex was so good that we could not stop. It was on repeat, and so it played California Dreaming for, I gotta say, hours.
Ooh.
And we just did not change it. Yeah. Imagine a sunset. You're on a deck. Come on now. Whoo, this ain't about fucking California. This is about fucking in California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is great.
Dog, what? Candles? What?
Yeah.
What?
This is like, you gotta like, this is somebody you're fucking, that you love.
I love. Oh, this is a love. This was a love, for sure. Without a doubt in my mind. That's what was funny about when you asked me what's the Mount Rushmore of that, because I'm like, there are songs that you like, I want to fuck someone to this, and then there are songs that you fuck to that become your fuck songs because of the way you have made love to that motherfucker. And I'm like that, because music's always on in my life.
Sure, me too.
Always.
I have I have $6,000 worth of Sonos speakers in my apartment.
We go Sonos before anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there gotta be a vibe. But that was one of them joints that was like that I didn't see come. I would have never told you that like some years ago. You know what I'm saying? But like when that shit happened, I was like, oh, I think that's my favorite sex song. And it's so random.
It's such a good song though. Put on do you have Glory Box? Put on Glory Box and kind of like,
oh fucking yes. This is mine too. I love this one.
I just wanna be a woman.
Oh, this song is so tough.
So I just went to go see.
My girl put this shit on our playlist.
I just went to go see Beth. This was actually, we did this record on the 500 Greatest Albums. This is Dummy by Portishead. It is a phenomenal album. And
Lupe Fiasco used this shit too.
Really?
This
was. Oh, also, do me a favor. Put on Angel by Massive Attack. This is when you're fucking. This is like, you know, you wearing like a shroud and you pull it off and the thing just like falls off. I just went to go see Beth, who's the lead singer. That's the girl of Portishead.
Yeah.
And it was cool. This was so great, man. I love my life. And
Wait, Beth, is she like a redhead?
No, she's blonde. She's older British woman.
I'm thinking of another group. Sorry, Beth.
But I see them at Beacon. The show's incredible. And then last night I went to go see Bill at his theater. He's doing Glengarry Glen Ross.
Right. Yeah.
And we're backstage. Me, Richie from the Comedy Store, and a couple other people. And Bob Odenkirk comes out and we're talking. He goes, "Hey, these guys. They're from Portishead," and the band members of Beth's group were there at the show. And there's like, you know, Michael McKean, fucking Burr, who's a homie, and then Bob Odenkirk, which I should be like, oh my God. And I'm just like, yoink. All I wanted to do was talk to them. Oh, dude, they're so great. I just want this to kick in. So let this play while we do our final question. This was great, by the way, dude. I'm so happy you came on for this.
I was not gonna miss this. I'm so glad that you were able to.
We thought this one was cursed for a second because
it was crazy. I know, and I'm like, bro, I'm almost like seconds from calling you. Like, I promise you, I want to do this.
Please,
Doug. I'm so sorry.
Hold on, wait. This is now it's starting to kick in. Hold on. Now imagine like,
I see it. So you like to fuck to those action. You like to fuck to those action soundtracks from the 90s. Because that's what this sounds like. It sounds like it sounds like John Wick walking into a spa right before he kills motherfuckers, and there's like a bunch of beautiful women everywhere.
Sure.
Right?
Yes. Hold on.
100%.
Hold on. Wait for this shit to kick in. Hold on. Turn this off for a second.
Ooh.
Wait, get ready. You're just like, now you're about to go in. You're about to go in. I'm putting it in right now. Hold up.
Oh, you be slapping nipples like that, don't you?
I love, dude. You can turn this off. Trip hop is.
That's great.
Trip hop is.
That's a cool little vibe. I wouldn't fuck.
So
It doesn't scream sex to me.
Really?
Not to me personally, but I can see now how you get down. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see how you. I see what you vibe out to, and it fits your aesthetic.
Put on. I want you to hear Deftones because we're about to see them tonight. I'm trying to think of what would be a good. Deftones is having a real moment right now. They're actually one of the more popular bands with Gen Z because they had a great show at They had a great show at Coachella, and it just blew all the young kids away. What sex tape? No, do yeah, put on Change in the House of Flies. I think that might work because there's so many good ones. This is the one that you probably know the most. Do you know this one?
You gotta start because I don't know about the beginning.
And the drums kick in. 3, 2, 1. It's very sexy.
It sounds familiar. This is nice too. Yeah, y'all be making white love, boy. Look at you.
All right, we don't bring race. I don't see color, dude. A black chick would fuck me. I fucked a black chick to this.
You did?
Dude, I fucked a lot of sisters, dude.
I know that.
I got a chick I met, dude.
But
Riot,
see, I
meet with more.
But
black,
they're coming in.
Hold on, wait,
see,
wait.
When they walk in your house, they hear this. Yeah, see, because you give them that rock star shit, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. It's a difference. It's different than my swagger, but it's easily respectable.
It's just I ask
easily respectable.
So I ask everybody these questions. What's your favorite song on this record?
My favorite song on the Marvin Gaye record?
Yeah, on Deftones that you know so well.
The last one. I mean, let's get it on, man. That's just
it really
classic,
is.
Dude. There's no way to beat that song. And actually, it was crazy that he led with that. Like that's where we were in music, where he just put the song everyone knew the most at the top of that bitch.
A lot of them did that. I noticed this from doing the podcast. A lot of people sometimes start off with the hit and then they go down, or
it's an interesting way to build the record as a flowing piece of art. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, you started here, and you know what I'm saying?
But this whole record, this is I want to call it a concept record, but it definitely every track leads to the next.
Yeah,
I think it's a great album. Sure. Is there anything on this you skip over? Like, and that doesn't mean you dislike it, because it's funny. I actually listened to this record.
Yeah.
I skipped over Let's Get It On because I've heard it so much.
Yeah, you're trying to like.
I wanted to listen to the rest of it. Is there anything that you've skipped over? Or?
I'll be honest. I've skipped over. What was the Reprieve joint?
Keep Getting It On.
Yeah, because I'm like, why?
Sure.
Because and I didn't say that when I first heard the album, but like now, if I'm being honest, like I don't keep getting it on. No, I already nut, bruh. I'm not gonna keep getting it on.
I mean, that's a 4 or 5 minute song, and then you get into Please Don't Stay. I mean, this is by the time it gets to Keep Getting It On. I mean, if you're still see, that depends. If I take Viagra, which I do a lot now. And it's not a matter of me not wanting to be involved in it. It's just like once you lose your erection, you're going to lose it again. It's a mental thing. Sex is about being present. So if I take Viagra, there is a good chance I could go for an hour at least before I nut. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Which some girls are fucking into that. First time you fuck a girl, like when you're like in track, they're into it. But then there's other sex where it's like, dude, we just had dinner. She just wants to go. We want to fucking go to bed. So crazy.
Yeah, I had to get my time down. Shit.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn how to fight, how to fuck shorter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I thought every woman wanted this. No,
they don't.
They got shit to do.
Yeah.
I remember
they get tired. It gets inflamed.
Girls are like, you fuck like you don't got a job. You fuck like you ain't got nowhere to be.
I'm a comic. I don't.
I kind of don't, lady. I'm sleeping on the couch, but yeah.
Hilarious. The next question I ask everybody is, can you fuck to this record? But obviously the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
All right. What would be your elevator pitch to get someone to listen to this album? Like how do you sum this album up?
This album is about love in the most intimate form, and you're already gonna get there. You're already gonna go. You already want to fuck. You already have somebody that you want to get into. Why not put on something that's gonna create that sexy ambiance, written by someone who understands love and wouldn't sing about that shit unless he felt it in his soul.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe his dick too. I don't know his dick like that. Marvin Gaye's amazing. He didn't get shot by his daddy, so you wouldn't listen to the album.
I feel like you have to fuck to this record. I feel like you have to.
You gotta fuck to the record, man.
And I think to go off of what Chris is saying, Fleece Army, is you're listening to a master of his craft and a man that that I think probably good looking guy, knows love, knows sex, and I think you have the quintessential record for fucking, not only of all time, but I think when you're talking about the act of what we do and music at this meeting point, I think you have this record and this song, and then you see it even grow because sex isn't a bad thing. Sexual healing, man. This is his way of sexual healing.
Yeah.
And I think you have the beginning of that for this. I think this is probably one of his best records. And I want to say it's one of the most important. But when it comes to the act of sex and music together, I think this is definitely in the top 3.
And honestly, this is the best record that's ever been written by a man whose dick don't work.
God, so sad. So sad to hear that about Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. But I'm like easily impressed. I'm like, what? You wrote all that?
I know.
And that thing wasn't even involved?
I know.
That's crazy.
Promote away. Anything you want to promote, bud? We'll do it at the beginning too. I'll get your spiel from your PR people. But anything
from the PR people,
we'll get it. We'll get everything.
I got an Audible project coming out. It's featuring Joey Badass and a bunch of other dope
That's
people.
awesome.
Roy Wood Jr. There's a bunch of people.
Funniest man alive, dude.
It's super great. Check it out. I think it'll be. I don't know if I can say when it's gonna be. It's gonna be out this year. I'm on Raising Kanan, so if you like gangster drama, then I'll be on that. And and just keep looking out for me. I'm on the road. Get tickets, man. I'll be in. Well, I don't know when this is coming out, but
comes out on Wednesday.
Wednesday. So I'll be back from Houston. But I'll be check my Instagram. Chris Red is. I am chrisred.com where I'm gonna be at. Pull up on me. I got a new hour, some shit I'm talking about. And it's pretty funny.
Go see Chris, everybody. He's hilarious. Support. This is so much fun. I'm so glad this worked out.
Dog, hell yeah,
this
boy. This is a fun show. I'm gonna do this shit again.
You will.
Hell yeah.
You will. Thank you guys. All right, dude, we're done.
Dog, it was so much fun.